I really don't want to make fun of anybody. I don't. But there is a certain humor to this video. I'm entitled The Narcissist and His Fictional Friends. As I said in my other videos, narcissists don't have actual friends because they view other people merely as objects, or as Sam Vaknin says, three-dimensional cartoons, tools, extensions of themselves. Their only their only view for other people is to see those other people as serving their own needs. And when they're no longer having any need of that tool, they throw the discarded tool away after having devalued it and, beat it up emotionally. They can't relate to other people. They see everyone as inferior to their mind. Now, I keep doing that voice because it reminds me of the ex-narc I hung out with. This confused look, like, always confused. Like I said, one night I was on the boat and I woke up, this guy staring at me going, you're really confused that here's a human being with empathy and values and, you actually care about another human being, how weak you are, you see. Well, if you actually believe that caring about other human beings makes you weak, you're by definition essentially a sociopath, so you're never going to be able to, relate to other human beings as human beings. They're always going to be objects to be exploited. But all the people that they've hurt will ultimately get over this. They will heal. They will rise again, like the phoenix from the ashes, and I don't mean that in an occult sense. I mean it merely in a poetic sense. They're going to go on with their lives. They're going to become intellectuals and athletes and start their own businesses and improve their music, while the narcissist is just going to spiral down into nothingness, continually crapping his life down the potty. Like I said, there are some narcissists that are financially successful, but they're screw-ups in every other, they're screw-ups with family, they're screw-ups with friends. They don't relate to other people. They're not people. They don't have they don't have the emotional faculties. They don't have the social intelligence to do it. But because they're living in such a fantasy world, fantasies where they live in their own internal world, fantasy appeals to them very much so. The narc that I knew would say things like he had this ex-wife, I don't want to say her name, I'll just say her first name. Her name was Ruth. I'm not saying any more about her, but he would tell you that, his wife Ruth was an inferior being because they bought this beautiful house together, and she really wanted to, I guess her mother had passed away, and she wanted to put her mother's living room furniture on the living room floor, the house that they both own, because, it reminded her of her mother. And rather than showing any compassion, because they have none, or any empathy, or any humanity, which narcissists don't have, as we said, he told me himself, I was angry. I would not have that. I, the great legendary, whatever his name was, I'm not going to say, would not have that on my living room floor, you see. I told her, I sure showed her. She argued with me, and I taught her a lesson by divorcing her. I sure showed her. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Now, keep in mind, this woman has moved on to actually marry a husband that's really, really good to her. They've had a long, successful marriage. I know their names. I'm not going to say who they're at or where they are. But she has made out well from this deal. On the other hand, the narc has gone through, several so-called friends and, Yarg, they discard everybody. They just can't relate. But, like, the narc I knew loved the movies, and the reason he loved the movies is because he could live through the movies. I guess he was, I don't want to say he's a nobody. Maybe in his own mind he's a nobody and a living God at the same time. Or just believed he was a living God, but, in his real life he's just kind of ho-hum. And the guy wasn't stupid. He wasn't stupid. But he believed that he was the ultimate intelligence and everybody else was inferior, stupid dum-dums. And he treated them like that. Well, he didn't treat them. Strangers, of course, he couldn't pull that crap off with. But only for his supply, the people that loved him and cared. See, when you love and care about a narcissist, you accept them despite their faults. They don't appreciate you. They see you as inferior and weak. You're stupid, silly insect, you see? Oh, God, you're shit, garbage. That's the way they think, constantly, 24/7, perpetual, I hate you. Now, they'll tell you, I love you so much, you're my friend. But the truth is, they're raging and seething they can't relate to people, and so they'll never ever have real friendships. They will always screw up their marriages. They will always screw up their friendships. They will always screw up, the workplace, in the workplace, because they can't relate to other people. And when you're in the workplace, you have to relate to other people. They go to school. They're afraid of being shown up. See, the thing is, if they get into a science class and somebody in the science class makes better scores than they do, which could happen. I mean, there's only one top of the class generally. So even the second top of the class is going to be bested by the top of the class. Doesn't mean the second top of the class is bad or stupid. I was probably, 3.999999 GPA, and the other guy's 4.0 GPA, but they're both incredibly talented. But a narcissist cannot handle that 3.9999 GPA when the other guy has 4.0, because I will be second best to no one. I will teach him a lesson. And it's the kind of person that'll like, oh yeah, gee, I came in second. I will not accept this. And then he goes out and slashes all your tires, yells into drunken rages. That's the kind of people they are. But in the movies, they're gods. That's why they like movies. They can go and live. They like the excitement. And we all like movies, but I don't like much as many these days, and I'm very, very picky about what I put in my mind. Because I don't want to be dumbed down or demoralized, and I kind of like to keep my noodle sharp. I really like using it. But so they don't have, like I said, they don't have real friends. They screw up every relationship they ever had, but then they'll say, my friend is Carl Sagan, and my friend is Isaac Asimov, is my best friend, or John Williams, the classical chess, he would really admire me for my greatness. He would, you see, I'm going to be like John Williams. They're always living through some fantasy world, and so when they're in the movies, they can say things like, Captain Kirk is my friend, or Star Trek is one of my, Spock is one of my best friends, and oh yes, So basically, their friends, in their own mind, are all these fictional characters, or objects, guitars, trumpets, cars, my best friend, you see. But real people are like, oh yeah, and then the cat, and carrier beans. So they are the most dysfunctional people on the planet, but there is a certain humor about the fact that they have no real human friends, no real human interactions with anybody. But in their mind, all these heroes in the movies, they live in the movies because it's escapism. They can escape responsibility, they can escape accountability, they can escape reality, and they can be in there where, I am a Jedi Knight. You don't know about the great battles I fought against Darth Vader, though. You don't even know, unless you appreciate that. So they'll say, I'm a Jedi Knight, unless you affirm that in my own screwed up head, I will devalue you and discard you. Don't even know the brilliance. I'm Superman, you see. And they really live like this. On one hand, you want to hate them because they've done some really creepy stuff. Not that they care. They have no concept of their way their own actions affect other people. And even if they did, they wouldn't care how it hurts other people, because some of the people are insects or cockroaches. They needed to be stepped on by their great divine particles. But in the scientific mind, the truth is these guys are really idiots. So anyway, I just wanted to make that quick post about how narcissists have a lot of fictional friends from movies and a lot of objects as friends, but have no real friends that are actual people, because people are inferior beings in the shadow of a living God that they see themselves as, which they're really crazy. Especially, like I said, they believe they're God, but yet they're nobody. And that's pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty awesome in a certain sense, in a sort of funny way.